was actually constructed because of what happened here at this school that sits behind us, where children were racially discriminated against because of their hair. And so this is pretty much a slap in the face to the black and brown community based upon them not following the actual Crown Act law that was signed this year during this legislative session. We have one of the co-authors of this bill, which is State Rep. Ron Reynolds. We all were in the trenches to ensure that this bill gets passed so children can be protected how they wear their hair. Well, we had one issue because we end up pulling their school policy when it comes to dealing with hair. And so it says hair must be clean and well groomed. Geometric and unusual patterns, including mohawks, faux hawks, shaved or cut in hair are not permitted. It says unnatural hair color or color variations in hair, like scarlet purple, brown, blue, orange, all that is not permitted. Ribbons or other type of hair accessories should not be distracted from the learning environment. Then it says male students' hair would not extend any time below the eyebrows or below the earlobes. Male students' hair must not extend below the top of the t-shirt collar and be gathered or worn in a style that would allow the hair to extend below the top of the t-shirt collar or below the eyebrow or earlobes when let down. So notice where it says when let down. Okay, that's racist because one, when you have these protective styles are long. These protective styles, when you do let them down, it actually goes past the earlobe. However, this child is protected under the Crown Act. I even have pictures to show this child's hair during the time that he was in ISS. Now, this child meets the criteria. So why is he in ISS if his hair is in a protective style like this? This is unacceptable. Here's another picture. The child's hair is in a protective style. And then you threaten to put this child, taking him from a learning educational environment where he's on a fast track to graduate. You take him from out of his learning environment, you put him in ISS, then you put him in the behavior ISS, then you threaten to put him in alternative school, all because of his hair. And this child is protected under Texas law, which is the Crown Act. And here's the other side. Here's the other portion of the hair. This is unacceptable, and we are standing in solidarity with his parent. We are standing in solidarity in reference to the Texas law that we help to put in place to protect our children to wear their hair according to their natural ethnic background. So I would like to turn it over to Brother Cornell X. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, the mother.
One thing we want to say is that this particular school district and this particular high school has been out front in discriminating against African American students, in particular black male students. Even in a very high profile case that inspired and brought forth the Crown Act being passed, still to this day they're still discriminating against black students. It's not about the length of the hair. You can see from the picture that this young man's hair was pinned up. But even when it's pinned up, it is not, according to the rules that we all read, beneath his eyebrow. It's not beneath his ear. So he's not violating the school and policy procedure. It's not that they have a problem with the length of his hair. They have a problem with black hair. Let's just tell it like it is. This mother's son, who's a good student, who's committed no wrongs on this campus, is being punished and penalized strictly because he's a black student whose cultural expression and the context of his hair, white folks in this district don't understand. Let's just keep it real. This young man should not be punished any further. And we say to this school district, whether you like it or not, you will obey and follow the law. Cease and desist from punishing this mother's child any further. And we're calling on the governor's office and the state legislative house to enforce what they wrote into law. We thank Brother Ron Reynolds, who inspired and worked with that law to make it a reality. But you're saying to him and his constituents, we don't give a damn. what you turned into law or what you written into law. We will continue with our discriminatory policies by any means that we want to with black students. We're saying to Barbers Hill ISD, you will obey the law whether you like it or not. Brother Ron,
I'm Ron Reynolds. I'm state representative and chair of the Texas Legislative Black Caucus, and Dr. Matthews and Cornell X are right. And I want the mother to know that this school and this school district has a history. The Crown Act was inspired in Texas by DeAndre Arnold, a former student at this school. When DeAndre came to me initially, this young man was an honor student who did no crimes, Cornell. His only crime was that he was black and he wore his hair in his natural style that he wanted to because of his heritage. And this young man was great, and this school district forced him to do the same thing that they're doing to your son, to basically choose to cut his hair, to assimilate, go to ISS. Well, DeAndre took a stand, and he left this school district, and he inspired us. Last session, we filed the Crown Act. We didn't get it passed, but this session, we passed House Bill 567, the Texas Crown Act, with bipartisan support. Governor Abbott signed that bill into law, and that bill took effect September the 1st of this year. So it's to protect students to wear their natural hair, their braids, their locks, their twists, that they can no longer be subject to discriminatory policies like Barbers Hill did to DeAndre Arnold. So this bill is there to protect students like this. So there's no excuse, absolutely zero excuse for this school district that knows this policy to do this all over again. It feels like deja vu. And I don't know about you all, but I'm upset. And I'm sick and tired of school districts continuing to manipulate students. Students should be able to focus on academic enrichment. They should be focused on their extracurricular activities, learning, and doing everything else. This student should not be singled out because he's wearing his natural hair the way that the Crown Act was intended to protect. So I too call on Governor Abbott. I'm going to make sure that the Legislative Black Caucus is going to fight to make sure that this student is protected, and we will do everything that we need to do. If that means having the Attorney General, that means legal action, that means further enforcement action to protect this student and any other students across this state. This is a message for any other school district. Do not try to discriminate against students any further because of the way that they wear their natural hair. House Bill 567 is the law, and currently Barbers Hill ISD, Barbers Hill High School, is violating the law, but more importantly, that student, your son's rights, his rights that we fought so hard for. So again, I stand in solidarity. The Texas Legislative Black Caucus and all people of good conscience should be standing behind the student to say no more. And Barbers Hill, you need to stop, immediately cease and desist and rescind and apologize to this student for trying to enforce a policy that no longer you're able to do because of the Crown Act. Thank you, Dr. Matthews. Thank you, Quano X, and everyone for speaking truth to power.
We'd love to hear from you.
Well, I just want to say I just really want my son to get the education he needs and not be discriminated because of his hair. In one of our meetings, the principal, trying to think of his name, the head principal, yeah, the principal, he told me that because they know his hair is long, every day he comes to school, he's going to be in ISS because they know when let down, it's below his eyelids and it's below his earlobes. And I want it to stop. My son needs his education.
How is he doing? How is he feeling?
Well, he's kind of upset. I can't really speak on how he's feeling because I'm not him. I only can speak on how I feel. And I know he's upset. And he feels terrible about it.
This district knows that the Crown Act was written into law. This district knows that it was written into law because of a young man who attended the same high school in the same district. This district knows that they were the spearheading, motivating factor that brought this discriminatory law into place to stop discrimination against African American students. This district is aware of that. And so I believe this is retaliation to say to black people and the legislative house, we don't care what you say. We will do it our way, whether you like it or not. Well, we say to this district, you will obey the law, whether you like it or not. And that's what we're emphasizing here. obey the law.
That's right.
Barbers Hill ISD, obey the law. The picture clearly shows he's not in violation of a school policy at all. This is strictly about this district saying to the entire country, black hair in this district is not growing.
And if I may, I want to be clear. Attorney Allie Booker, I want to be clear, guys. Federal law is well settled with respect to the Crown Act before the state of Texas passed this